Hey, hi, and hello. Welcome back to my thinking chamber. Indeed, that's what this is today because I am going to show you guys the other half of the leveling out show, okay? So, if you're a smoker, go ahead and roll one up. Go ahead, get your papers, get your cigars, get your devil's lettuce, and roll one up. If you're not a smoker, just hear me out, okay? Because things are going to get a little wild, going to get a little bit outrageous. But I want you to keep an open mind, okay? So I have my perfectly pearled pal right here, and I'm going to spark her up. Let's go. My proposition begins with evolution. We all know what evolution is, right? You know, it's when one thing becomes another over time. Simplest term. We go way back with evolution. Some may say it's the way that we came to be today. So we're going way back to when the first fish decided, I want to go for a walk. Suddenly, I know what walking is. I want to go walk. So he gets out of the ocean and he goes for a walk, and he's a lizard, and then the lizard turns into a weird little creeper, and then that creeper turns into something resembling an ape, and then that ape turns into like a Neanderthal, and then Neanderthal turns into man, and then we're here, right? Okay, I still have you all with me? All right. So let's take it a step further, yeah? So in this day and age, I feel like there's not too many exciting things going on with evolution. Like, I feel like once we had the blueprint for human, we kind of just roll with it, you know, we ran with it. You know, we did a couple of messed up things like inbreeding and stuff like that, but overall we were like, yes, this is man. So why don't we take it to the next level? Okay, hear me out. My proposition begins with flight. That's something we all can remember just wishing that we could do. You know, being a kid, oh, I wish I could fly. Oh, I want to fly. I want to be a bird. I want to be a plane. Oh, I wish I could fly. Well, my mission here is to grant us that ability, okay? So when I think about flight, the first thing that comes to my mind is a bumblebee, all right? And this is keeping my proposition in mind you. I think of a bumblebee because according to all laws of aviation, B-movie quote, bees are not supposed to be able to fly. You know, their fat bumblebee bodies are not supposed to be able to be held up by their tiny little wings that move so quickly just to hold them up, you know? But bees, they get it done. They don't care about our opinion on what they could and could not do. They go and they fly and they pollinate and they take naps and flowers and they make honey, okay? So, going back to us, I feel like in order to shake things up a bit, you know, just spice it up a bit, I think we should fly. Now, I know you're thinking, lovely, humans can't fly, weight distributions, you know, we're too heavy, we're not supposed to. That's what they said about the bees, okay? So stick with me here. So this is my course of action, and nobody steal this idea because I got it in the bag, okay? I'm going to make this happen. Course of action starts with some of the most fittest human beings, you know, like some of the traits that we define as like necessities in life, you know, like height. People being taller apparently is better for some reason. I don't know. I feel like they have knee problems, but fuck it. You know, people that have those traits, like those, you know, the person that's not lactose intolerant because then, you know, their food supply is limited and stuff like that. So we take these people and we make them have kids. We mate them with each other. You know, we're trying to get the best of the best already for what I'm trying to do here, okay? So we get the babies. Now the babies, and hear me out, okay? A lot of this is going to sound unethical, but just hear me out because we can make it ethical later on in the process or not, but hear me out. We're going to keep these babies in a facility. It's going to be a la Maze Runner, okay? We're going to keep these babies in a facility. We're going to monitor them. We are going to train them. Train them to what? Train them to fly, of course. And I will tell you how. So, from ages 0 to 6, those are the ages where you're programmed, okay? From birth to 6 years old, those are the ages where you learn from your parents and from what you see on the TV and from what you experience at that young age. And it kind of just like, it propels you into who you're going to be when you're older. So, for these kids, we're going to program them to be like birds. Hear me out. We're going to, from ages 0 to 6, we're going to teach these kids everything bird, okay? They're going to only watch videos of birds, helicopters, planes, bats, anything that has flight. These kids are going to watch. We are going to have them learn birds, learn planes. I don't know what I mean by that. I don't know if I mean like learn how to make them or just learn why they work, but we're going to make them learn planes and birds. And now that I'm recording this, it sounds outrageous. I pitched this idea to a couple people, but now that I'm recording, I'm like, oh gosh, this is going to go over with other people, but okay. So, from ages 0 to 6, they're programmed to be birds. Now, we're going to keep them into a nice facility, okay? We're going to have them live in a place that's like the outside world, but it's not. Like Maze Runner, you know, where they can't really tell that they're not in the outside world. They just know that they're in some place. And they're going to be treated well, okay? We're going to keep them healthy. We're going to keep them happy, but only bird related, okay? So then we move on to the next stage, the next trial. And that is from ages 7 to probably 16 years old, the developmental years, okay? During these years, we are going to work those arms out, okay? When I tell you, leg day who? We don't know her. She doesn't exist. Chicken legs, flamingo legs. We are going to have the skinniest, tiny legs ever in the world, but we're going to have the strongest arms. We're going to work these kids to the max, okay? So, at 16 years old, now this is where it really gets to be a little bit unethical, okay? A little bit. Hear me out. We're gonna push the kids off a building. Now, I know how that sounds, but mind you, this is a very safe facility, so there will be cushioning at the bottom. In my original plan, there was no cushioning. I'm thinking of the children now, okay? So we're going to put some cushioning at the bottom, but the main goal is to see who takes the longest to drop down. This can be for a variety of different factors, you know, like some kids may be just heavier than others. Some kids may not have the strongest arms, even though we work them to the bone. But whatever the reason may be, we're looking for those kids that can catch a gust of wind, okay? That's the simplest thing. Just catch a gust of wind. So we're going to take those kids and we're going to mate them. We're going to mate those kids with other kids that manage to keep a gust of wind. And you guys, listen to me, okay? I know how this sounds, but evolution takes a long time. Like it doesn't happen in 5 years. It's going to take some decades. So we're going to have to keep, you know, making these babies from the products that we have already, because we don't want any outsiders. We only want people that have been indoctrinated into the aviation club, okay? So we're going to make these babies and we're going to make them do it again and again and again and again and again and again, okay? And eventually, somebody is going to maintain flight for a short period of time. And that alone is enough, okay? Eventually, we might not be able to fly in 100 years, but we will be able to fall with style. When I tell you, we will take 0 fall damage from anything, because we'll just be able to do like a little Tinkerbell, like do, and we'll be able to like keep ourselves from hitting the ground too hard. Now, it's not complete flight, but it is for damn sure on the way. Now, who's with me? Like, am I outrageous? Am I ridiculous? Is that not cool to push kids off a building to see if they'll fly? And some people asked when I pitched this idea to them, they were like, "Well, can't the kids get a running start?" No. We need it to be as similar to the bird baby bird process as possible. And from what I learned growing up, baby birds get freaking kicked out of a tree. Okay? They get punted out of a tree, and their parents say, tweet, tweet, which means you better fly. And then they do. So I think that we need that, like, como se dice, shock of adrenaline to really get those arms doing what they've been trained to do. Kind of like in the movies where somebody doesn't like really know how to activate their powers until they're in like a life or death situation. So they have to just do it, and then they do it and it's done. And then they're like, oh, look at what I can do. Look at us. We're flying. I believe in this cause. And if you believe in this cause as well, please donate to my Cash App. It's lovely, ITSLXVXLY. If I don't become president, or if I don't become rich and famous, or if I don't settle down quietly with my wife and husband and our 3 kids, I am going to be the scientist that brings flight to humans. No one can tell me I won't. And then, I just thought of this. The inverse could also be possible. Now, I'm not saying, hear me out. No, I'm not saying that we drown babies or anything like that. But, I know that's a rough sentence, but the inverse could be possible. Maybe we could teach babies and future humans to breathe underwater with similar training, We'll keep them in water, while they're